Welcome to Project Die Hard Mission Monday Update. So glad to have you here. My goodness, there's a lot going on tonight. We have a wonderful guest joining us, and you're going to want to stick around and hear all the great things about this guest that I'm going to keep a secret for just a few minutes longer, because there's some important details we need to touch before we get to him. But you know what we do here? This is with Project Die Hard, and every Monday night we do come in here to give you all those updates. There's a lot going on in our veteran community, and especially with Project Die Hard. Before we start, though, I thought this was kind of interesting that I just by chance had something pop up on my screen from something I did a long time ago. And it said something along the lines of that the devil wants you to worry about what's next so that you can't enjoy what is happening now. The devil's a liar. Stop worrying. Always stay focused on him, and you'll be going in the right direction. And part of why I'm kind of paraphrasing is, oddly enough, as I was trying to bring that forward here to actually share it, it poofed out of my screen and I can't get it back. So, things happen and you got to roll with where you are. You never know what's coming up next, and that's okay. You don't have to necessarily know what's next. Just do the best you can and keep plowing forward, because as I say, plowing, I'm in a snowy area right now. Brian's favorite. Just kidding. I'm going to bring Brian on in here. Brian Gibson is our founder and president here with Project Die Hard. And snow's your favorite, right?
No, it's not the snow, Sue.
It's the cold.
It's the cold. 10 pounds of titanium holding my spine together. Me and cold just don't work out anymore. It's called thermodynamics. Metal attracts cold.
Actually, and I got to step away for one quick second. The heater over here is making a weird noise. I will be right back.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting, I guess we're going to do this. We can leave it like that. Or we can no, we'll do that. This is where Sue needs to come back. There. All right. Here it is, folks. The 2025 mission recap. Everybody was asking me to do this 10, 15-minute video on 2025 in the mission. Well, I don't have that much content because the only thing I have to report is 456 veterans got fellowship and support at the fellowship breakfast this year. They got a free meal. Forward operating base rush is still not done. And the mission is still running in the red. That's our 2025. Every week I tell you, pray for the mission, share the mission, volunteer for the mission, and or patron the mission. That's not going to stop. Christmas Eve through Christmas Day, I mean as the founder of Project Die Hard, was notified of 27 veterans that lost their fight to that demon in that 24-hour period. From today, from the morning meeting I had with my leadership team until right now, 7. If I cannot stress the importance of this mission to people, I don't know what else to do. It's right there on the screen, YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Either they're going to pay or you become a $22 a month patron.
You know, subscribing is free, right? Everyone out there, all you have to do is go to the website and click subscribe. It's free. So easy to do. Please go do that right now.
So easy.
So easy.
All right.
Sorry, I was just going to say it's youtube.com. And then what you see on there at Project Diehard 2536. Just type that in. It takes you exactly where you need to go. There's a button on there that says subscribe. Click it. Done. That's it.
That's it.
So go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. Come and see. I've been beating that drum for years. Hey, it's still there. January 2026 dates. If I put a reminder on the calendar to do this on the last Monday of the month. So we'll see if it happens.
Perfect.
But the fellowship breakfast, January 7th, 0700 to 0930 in Paducah, Kentucky. You want the address? Go to the website, look it up. Follow us on social media. That's the best way to get to know what's happening in this mission. January 10th, Murfreesboro, Illinois. Little Mania Wrestling,
Woohoo!
an outreach partner of ours, is holding an event 7 miles from Forward Operating Base Rush. Hey, there you go. Oh, speaking of Forward Operating Base Rush, on January 17th, the Die Hard Drive. Every month is different. Starts at 0900 189 Haven of Love Drive, Makanda, Illinois. And every Friday, God bless Meredith Family Grind, they are hosting a fellowship event for veterans. Downtown Paducah, Kentucky. Want the address? Look them up. Support them the best you can. Veterans get 15% off their order. And that big back room there is for my brothers and sisters to hang out and fellowship. We are still fundraising for the Die Hard 1 build. Go find a can. That's January's events. Oh, look at that YouTube thing again. All right. Community support program members. They have proven to be the best and have the heart to help. Get out there and support them. You can find them on our website. They're doing their part. Do yours. We are seen worldwide. This podcast right now is being live streamed to all of our networks. And throughout this week, they're going to be replayed on the Mark TV, Nonprofit TV, and Easy Way TV.
Pretty awesome.
Joining the community support program, it does have a cost. It's not money. I will do everything to help your business grow. your ministry grow, your programs grow. But see, you have to join our mission. It's not that hard. Oh, it's not that hard to apply. To get there, that's a whole nother ball game. And check it out. You don't have to talk to me. You don't. Sue, Kurt, Mark, Josh, they all do their part. It's real simple. God will never leave the mission. We will never use the suffering of veterans for profit, and no drugs or alcohol. If you can follow those 3 rules, then I never should have to talk to you. We are not denominational. I cannot stress that enough. The kingdom has to come together. If you ain't realized the evil in this world and that the kingdom is in danger, where could you better find warriors to fight this evil than veterans? You help us bring hope to them, bring them into God's kingdom, bring them back into the world. And while you're helping us, you're earning their trust. That's the important thing. I am not called to preach, coach, pastor. That's not my calling. I protected the nation and saved lives. I still save my brothers, sisters in life and protect the mission. That's my job. Nothing more, nothing less. VIP pass. We have 20. Reach out. The requirements to get a VIP pass is you must come to Forward Operating Base Rush and take a tour.
That's such a cool thing. Oh, what a great deal. I like it.
4 slides. There it is, sister. Do you think anybody should understand that?
Oh, heck yeah. And there's a lot jam-packed into there. There's a lot. A lot of good, a lot of my head's kind of spinning when you're talking numbers of those we've lost in this past week. That's beyond amazing. And that's why Project Die Hard is here. And if you all haven't heard that message yet, start paying attention, because there's good to be done here. And there's a place, whoever's hearing my voice right now, there's a place for you here. There's something that you can do, even if it's as simple as subscribing. So to take a moment, just take a moment and listen and think about what it is that your role could be. And so with that, quick update. It wasn't the heater. There's snowmobiles going by that were ridiculously loud. So if you heard some buzzing in the background, that's what it was. I just was not expecting that. So
you are so far up north, Santa Claus is south of you.
Okay? Not quite. Santa Papa John, now he's almost equal with me right now, actually. So yeah. We do have an amazing guest joining us. Just ahead of bringing him in, I think we should bring Kurt in to join us as well. Kurt, why don't you pop on in here and say hello, and then I'll be honored to introduce our wonderful guest tonight.
Hello, good to be on here. I'm Not usually on the first portion of the show, but Happy Neighborhood Project is not doing their events, so I'm here for the entirety. So it's great to see the flow to the show, and I just want to point out to folks that up in the corner there is a donate, save a vet QR code.
Mhm.
Don't forget that we also are putting out on our social media Project diehard.org. The donate button is there. You can also Google mightycause.org and Project Diehard, so mightycause.org, and then Project Diehard, all his search terms. It'll pull up the page that way as well. One way or another, we want to get you there because if it's not you, we want you to join us in making sure everybody in our reaches knows where that page is because we are remiss if that's not the case. Back to you, Sue.
Excellent. All right. Well, I am so happy to be bringing in our guest tonight. Excuse me, because I know, Kurt, you've had a chance to speak with him before, but brand new for me. So let me go ahead and bring him on screen. And I am so honored to introduce, um, let's see here. Sorry, getting my page in front of me. Ranga M is a clinical audiologist and the founder of Resynaptic, bringing over 22 years of clinical experience across India and the UAE. Recognized as a Rotary International Vocational Awardee in 2023, he specializes in cognitive metabolic optimization, which is a scientific approach to breaking the cycle of tinnitus, chronic stress, and decision fatigue. Ranga helps high performance individuals and veterans move beyond coping by identifying and treating the biological root causes of burnout. His mission is to provide the metabolic tools necessary to restore cognitive resilience, ensuring that those who served can regain control over their senses and their peace. I am so glad to have you here with us. I wonder if you want to go ahead and just tell us a bit more about what you all do.
Yeah, thank you for having me today. So, my name is Ranganathan. You can call me Ranga. I'm the founder of Resynaptic. We work at the intersection of the brain function, metabolic health, and the decision endurance, especially for the people who have lived in a high pressure situation since long time. So when I learned about the Project Die Hard mission, is to restore hope, dignity, and direction of veterans. I got to know that this is the place I have to really work on. That is how I was interested in getting into Project Die Hard. So for over 2 decades, I worked with individuals carrying invisible cognitive loads, like leaders, operators, families, and now veterans. So they are not broken people; they are capable people operating in a demanding environment for too long. That's my observation. So, Resynaptic was built on one simple observation that when the brain is forced to compensate continuously, the body pays the metabolic price. So that is the principle with which I've started with it, and this can be applied for different professionals. Veterans is one of them because they are into the stressful condition or more demanding condition since long time. Once they complete their works, again come back to the regular life. Even then, it takes very long time for them to restore back. So the transition is not that easy. So this principle of resynaptic can be applied in the transition period as well as people who have already got settled in their regular life.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Can you tell us a bit more about what exactly is it that you do with folks? What does it look like when you work with somebody?
Yeah, with resynaptic, we don't diagnose or we don't treat people. we assess, map, and rebuild the cognitive stability. So what happens? We use few tools like heart rate variability, CO2 tolerance, metabolic markers, and EEG recorders to understand how much the effort is applied by the nervous system to stay in a functional way. So this will give us whether he is trying to spend more energy or optimal energy, or already the system is broken down to spend all the energy to be optimally functional. Okay. So for veterans, this matters a lot because they are always in hypervigilance and always sensory loaded and disrupted sleeps. And there is also, you can see, emotional fatigueness. These are not character flaws, they are the signs of system that has been running in a survival mode since long period.
Mhm.
So our work is about helping the nervous system to stand down safely, gradually, and with dignity. That's our overall work.
Excellent. Yeah, Brian, does that sound familiar? If you're in the military, how much time do you spend on, like, engaged and high stress? Is that common?
All the time.
All the time.
All the
Yeah.
time. Okay. Um, that that that's like the people that when I'm out at events explain war. Well,
Oh,
you can't. So the best explanation I can give is long periods of sheer boredom interrupted by intense terror.
uh-huh. My mind is picturing that. It's like, oh, awful.
Yeah.
I often wonder with that well, it makes me wonder when somebody is enlisting. I wonder how much they really understand that that's kind of what they're headed potentially towards. And at any point in time, do you get trained on how to handle that aspect of it and how fatiguing it is?
Uh, I'm going to revert back to when I first started this mission and I talked. Ever since the beginning of time, when nations have formed armies, right, they have trained their individuals to do things that no human should ever have to do.
Mm-hmm.
No nation in history has ever been able to untrain those individuals. It cannot be done. Now, are there coping mechanisms? Yes. Have we learned in the Army over years and years and years that when you go through those moments of sheer terror, right, to take a breath? It's okay to take a knee. It is, depending on the time and the place. You just don't stop fighting a battle because, oh, I'm stressed. Okay, but it does build up and build up and build up. This is why I'm so happy to bring them on to us as a resource partner, because they have been proven that this works.
Mm-hmm.
the safe, secure place for veterans to transition. That's what our facilities are for. We have an organization in India coming on board to help veterans here in America.
It's amazing. I love it.
Kurt, what do you got to say on that, man?
Well, Brian, what you get me thinking about is, with the story with Sue and me, we we shared how a dozen years ago we ventured out through the disability community, and that was because of water skiing, adaptive water ski programs. The disability community brought to us a mantra of everybody skis, the mantra. And when you talk about long periods of boredom and then intense terror, you know, it makes me think of, veteran suicide, because the largest healthcare crisis known to humankind is social isolation. So when you talk about having a safe haven, a safe place, and a sound place, for veterans to take care of themselves, their family, and to get the help they need, get reorganized, rebooted, get the energy where it needs to be when you're talking about stress and all that biological experience. And you showed those passes, and it's at the location in Southern Illinois. So a lot of folks out there might say, well, it sounds great, good for you. I've said before, we run the risk of being entertainment, and that's the thing. It's everybody saves, everyone saves. It's an all hands on deck initiative. Sue said that everybody out there has a role, everybody belongs in this. And that becomes the important piece, is to say, if you haven't figured out your role in the veteran community, whether it's with a different veteran service organization or however it plays, but we just know we are here available, and we give the pray, share, volunteer, patron. This is something that, for many years we have run the cycle, that is important to help people find a role. And that's why I announced the Mighty Cause donation page, because we may say patron and assume that somebody knows how to patron our organization. So we're looking to build, a following here that really knows how to share it to the next person. I used to, in Milwaukee here, be a part of an organization called Bucket Works. And Bucket Works was built on the premise of the old days, before they had the fire trucks and all of that, before the Industrial Revolution. They would pass the buckets to douse water onto a burning building. And so the whole community came together. You go from the well to the building, pass the bucket, pass the bucket. And that's what this business is like. It's an assembly line. Everybody plays a role. So Ranga is here saying he sees a role for himself. He and I talked, and we put it together that it makes sense to Ranga what he can do, and it makes sense to us what he's offering. And so we got to the place where, with his application and reviewing it with our leadership team, we requested what he has to offer. Now we have a relationship, and now our community has grown. Yes, international. That is the point here, is that our U.S. veterans are all over the world. There is no, Great Wall of the USA where, people can't leave the USA, being a part of our history and being who we thank for what we have to enjoy today. So we really do reach across all continents to help the work we do here at Project Die Hard. It literally is everybody, and I'm talking 8 billion people who can come in and do something to save the lives of our servicemen and women, our veterans. Sue, over to you. What do you got?
So I was actually thinking back to Ranga's introduction. I know tinnitus came up. Not everybody knows what that is. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because I think that is something that affects. I know, heard him calling you out. I know he even has this, so I'm familiar with it because of him. But until that, I didn't know what it was. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what you can do to help that?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to thank Brian and Kurt for giving their lived experience, because that's more valid than my science and other things. So, if you look at the tinnitus, see what is happening in some brains, there are some missing of information which activates the autonomic nervous system, because of which the brain becomes more sensitive. So the brain becomes more hyper vigilant. So it is looking for the missing information that is happening. It could be because of the hearing impairment, or it could be because of sudden exposure of some sound like gunshot, any other, or it could be triggered by the emotions also. So it makes the brain to be always in a what do you call, fight or flight mode. So agitated mode. So what happens? The person cannot really relax with the tinnitus, because brain is always in a alert mode. So if a person is trying to sleep also, whenever there is calm or a quiet environment, brain becomes still more alert, more sensitive. So it creates still more tinnitus. It becomes still more alert at that time. So the person will not be able to sleep. So, in our observation research, what we have found, it is during such phases there is a heavy drain of metabolic energy for compensating this tinnitus and keeping this brain to be alert all the time. So, if there is no proper sleep, the person is not going to recover. So when there is no recover, person is not going to be relaxed, and he is going to be, the whole body is going to be in the agitated mode. So at resynaptic, what we do, we find out how much of the energy is spent on processing this tinnitus, or differentiating the sound versus the background noise, and optimize that. So it's a performance optimization or stabilization that we do. Because of that, the brain becomes relaxed. So when the relaxation of brain is happening, there is a recovery, and that can build full capacity of a person. Yeah. So the person can perform at a very the peak performance can be seen at that time.
Excellent. All right. Because Brian, is that something you've heard much about folks in the military? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Tinnitus. Yeah, loud noises cause it, right? Exposure. Yes, we do have hearing protection, but you don't go time out, let me put in my hearing protection when they start shooting at you. So I think 99% of every veteran has some form or shape of tinnitus.
Wow. So there's definite room for you to do some good here, Ranga. This is there's a lot of people that applies to.
Yes. So especially when there's a person who's exposed to a high level of noise, sudden emotional traumas, or who is working in a very hyper vigilant mode, definitely there is a high possibility of having tinnitus. So that is what Brian has already explained. So for them, there is a way to get out of it. That's what I can say.
Oh yeah, There's implants. The VA is testing that like a noise canceling thing. But again, that takes a surgery implanted. If we can find a natural way to do it, that would be better.
So much better.
You know,
With
again,
the external devices. Sorry, Brian. Please go ahead. Yeah.
well, again, this is my issue of this is why only the best will do for Project Die Hard. There's no shortcuts here. We don't take shortcuts.
So external devices like tinnitus masker or the implants, whatever, there is the technology is growing every minute. So there is always a technology application for any issue that is happening in the body. So, but what happens is, what we have seen in the cochlear implant and other devices, once the person is on the device, the energy spent on managing with this device is more than what is really spent on the suffering of the condition. So even with the device, we don't know. It is a kind of unpredictable. For some people, it may become completely all right. For some people, it may still remain because we don't know what is causing the tinnitus. If we know the exact causative factor, definitely it can be eliminated. And there may be some of the other medical or surgical methods to manage it. But for the tinnitus, there is sound we treat the ear as microphone and brain as the loudspeaker. So we are trying to do something for the microphone, but the tinnitus is still there because the amplifier, the mechanism is not at all known. What is the amplification happening? So resynaptic is operating on the amplifier, not on the microphone as well as on the brain. So that is how we are trying to balance it.
Excellent. So, well, and I know, Kurt, I just want to double check. I know you guys have had a chance to talk before. Did you have any questions you want to be sure to or any topics that you want to make sure to hit before we run out of time?
Well, I can point out, a little kudos to Josh for his quick work. So, Ranga, you can enjoy that when you go to projectdiehard.org. You can see your firm is, listed. We do have you all established as a resource partner and ready for folks to dive in and learn through your website. So, getting your website from our website, projectdiehard.org. And the question I'd have, Ranga, is, we covered some specifics, and okay, so we got the brain fog there and so forth. We're talking about hearing quite a bit. Can you give us more of an idea of, kind of the cross benefit that may be there to other senses? Like, are we seeing, things with simple things like taste and smell and sight and feel and, the other senses? Or is there some reason it's mostly, or is that just your specialty of hearing? How does that play into what you all are doing?
See, I call it as sensory loading, which includes all the loading, all the senses possible. So my profession is specialized in hearing. I talk more about hearing sense. The thing is, the physiology applies the same to all the senses. If you look at and why I'm talking more on hearing is we are connected with hearing. So with the society. So vision is another one, but the vision extent of visibility is limited, whereas hearing is if you look at all the senses, hearing is the only sense which is switched on 24 into 7. Whereas vision you can close it, taste you can close it. Touch also, you can close it. Whenever required, you can just operate it. So that is why I focus more on auditory cortex, because this is the way we try to get exchange of information with the society. So, since you have asked, the physiology is same for vision, taste, whatever the mode that you think, and it can be optimized in the same way. So that is why we call it as sensory gating, either rather than auditory gating.
Well,
Yeah.
on that, Kurt, one of my triggers, right, that sends me in a tizzy are babies crying. Why? Because the terrorist with the bomb in the car decided to blow it up next to the orphanage instead of on us. But being the medic, guess where I went? Right?
Uh-huh.
But now that's one of my triggers. I'm getting better at handling the aftermath, but still, when my wife and I go out to dinner and the baby on the other side of the restaurant starts to fuss up and starts crying and screaming, guess what that does to me?
Brings you right back where you were.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not tasting it. Right here.
Hearing it.
I'm hearing it. Now, yes, smells can trigger. Taste can trigger. Touch can trigger a PTSD event. Okay. The problem in the veteran community is we are trained to be hyper vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gotta sort of be in our profession, right? Well, again, I go back to my statement of no one's been able to untrain. All we can do is manage.
Mm-hmm.
I managed with alcohol to the point where the 45 was in my mouth. Veterans manage with alcohol. Veterans manage with drugs. Veterans manage by jumping out of airplanes, we do reckless things just to get the rush that we once had in life. Hence, this is why I know every time I get that itch to go and do something stupid, God goes, no, I need you around. Okay, this is why I know God saves and hope comes from God. This is what our facilities are for. This is what our fellowship breakfasts are for. This is what our fellowship Fridays are for. To give veterans that safe, secure place to find hope.
Because Ranga, I'm curious, with folks that you work with, are you finding them in that place where it's like they don't know what to do? They're, whether it's the tinnitus or I was seeing something about brain fog. There's different things where people are coming to you because they can't. I mean, there's so many things we don't know how to do ourselves, right? I can't fix if I have tinnitus. I don't know how to fix that. We need somebody who can help us through whatever our issue is. And so I guess maybe, do you have a favorite story that you can share with us with somebody that you've helped?
See, I have very good stories, but the reality of the tinnitus and brain fog is the ultimate, after trying all the treatments, ultimate conclusion is asking them to live with it. Okay. So I'm sure Kurt will accept because he is informed in another session. Okay. So what is happening is the medical treatment. I told you earlier that there is no real cause that is identified for the tinnitus as well as the brain fog. It is all the how the brain is really managing the metabolic health is the question now. So what we do, most of the treatments are treating the physical structure of, recovering from the injuries, or the surgically we treat the physical structure. So they cannot really give a solution for this. Okay. So what we do, we try to balance the metabolic and the cognitive health in such a way that brain is able to accept and be grounded, so that we will be able to do this. They can manage the condition like tinnitus or PTSD, whatever is there. Okay. So I have numerous stories. I have signed the NDA with the people whomever I have deal with. So I'm unable to give you exact description of them. That's why.
Gotcha.
I hope that is okay.
Yeah, no, I understand. Well, so
Yeah.
with what you've seen here with Project Die Hard, what role do you hope to play with the group here? What do you hope to help do? What can you do then to help Project Die Hard and those that we're trying to help?
See, I see the project Die Hard as it is not just about charity, it's about the restoration of people.
Hmm.
So, veterans don't need a note to be fixed as such. They need just an environment and framework that help them to help their system to recover trust internally and externally. So that itself is a big support we can do for them. And what resonates with me with the project Die Hard is the faith structure and the community as a stabilizing forces. That is what is important for the nervous system to heal. So this has got the whole structure. So definitely we will be able to apply the same principle for the nervous system, so that veterans will be able to come out of all these experiences. We can say it's not suffering; it's a experience.
Excellent. Yeah, because well, and just real quick, I know Brian had to go. He was pointing at his phone. If a veteran calls him and needs him, that's
Yeah.
where he goes. And so I'm going to give you a thank you on behalf of him and all of Project Die Hard for being here. And we still have a few minutes yet, but just want you to know that he makes tonight a priority and being here. But the biggest priority for him is directly if a veteran calls, reaches out, that's where he goes to help them in whatever way that he can help. So it's where I'm glad you're here. You're a resource. You're someone who uh, who can make an impact on. From what Brian was saying, he's saying like a grand majority of our veterans are dealing with some type of issue that is directly what you are able to make a difference with. So I am so happy that this connection has been made and that you're here, that you are a resource. And for anyone who goes to our website now, they do have that link right on there so that people can reach you directly. But if you go to projectdiehard.org and go to the resource partners section, they will find you there. So I can only hope we have folks that reach out soon, because you can help people. You can directly make a difference for them. So I love that. That's what it's all about, is helping each other out. So, well, and in these last couple minutes, what kind of take-home message would you like to leave with our veterans? What would you like folks to know about what you do and what kind of a resource you can be? I know you've described a lot already, but just want to make sure we haven't missed anything along the way too.
See, if I have to say a single sentence for veterans, nothing is wrong with you. Your nervous system adapted to extreme demands, which is described by Brian already. So
Hmm.
those adaptations can be reversed, but in a phased manner. He was mentioning there is no way of relearning, right? So it can be done in a structured way. So what I want to indicate is hope is not just a motivational talk, it is physiological. We can show it on the physiology. And when the brain is no longer fighting for noise, threat, overload, the clarity returns and sleep improves and my emotional control stabilizes. Because of all these, the decision quality improves. So, what I want our brothers and sisters of veteran want them to do is they can contact me through Project Die Hard, so that I can audit their sensory load and the gating responses, so that we'll know who requires some support or who's already stabilized. Whoever is in need of some support, definitely we can run. We have a module called the sensory input metabolic alignment protocol, which will be scheduled for 6 to 8 weeks. On daily basis they have to go through some of the steps, the stability process, with which by the end of 8th to 10th week they should be able to feel the clarity, have a calm environment, calm brain, so that they are able to do things with stability. That's what I can assure the veterans.
And when I hear that, it's like, who wouldn't want that? Because I know folks that are dealing with the brain fog, with the tinnitus, they they don't know what to do. They figure they just need to live with this. This is their new normal. And you're saying, no, there's something that can be done. There's a way to get through this and to get better, and that clarity can be returned. And I can only imagine how many people are hearing that and saying, "Wait, really? What?" So, and I'm seeing a note in the chat here, that here, I'm going to just bring this on. So I know Brian had to go, and he said uh, the call that he received was from a mother who lost her veteran last Saturday. So yeah, folks that know Brian, that know of Brian, reach out when they need someone, and he's the ear. He's the I know he does so much to help folks, and I I'm sorry to hear that that mother lost her veteran, but grateful that Brian is able to take that call and do what he can. Oh, just that's a heartbreaker to think that that's what's happening. So but that's the reality. That's why Project Die Hard exists. I don't know what was going on with that particular veteran, but I there's all these different resources now that are slowly, I say slowly, but really it's moving forward pretty quickly here, that all these amazing resources like yourself, Ranga, that are coming forward and saying, "Hey, I'm here. I can make a difference. I want to help." If anyone, again, see the website, projectdiehard.org. All those organizations, all those businesses, all those people are here and want to help, want to make a difference. And reach out. Whoever's listening, if you need something, reach out. What can we do to help? Um, And and Brian's saying here as well, we have a private family group on Facebook. So that's another resource where if that is something that would be helpful for whoever's listening, Brian can get you on there. So please reach out and we can make that happen.
Sure.
So we are down to just these final few minutes, and with Project Die Hard, as we wrap up each week here, because we are here every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central Time to get all those updates from Brian and to be able to introduce folks like yourself, Ranga, that we know people are going to want to know more and more about what you're doing, because that's going to be you're going to be a great resource to so many, and we're grateful for that. As we wrap up, we always do give everybody a chance to share a word of hope for our veterans. And as we lead into that, I just want to get that reminder out there that Brian had at the beginning. We have some big events coming up in January. So remember, the Veterans Breakfast takes place the first Wednesday of the month. So that'll be on July 7th. On July, did I say July? I meant January. January 7th. January 10th is that Little Mania wrestling event. That is going to be so, I wish I could be there. It's going to be so much fun. And you can get a VIP seat at the event if you contact us. Contact Project Die Hard. Oh my gosh, Brian can give you a tour of Forward Operating Base Rush, and that is how you can get that VIP seat with Brian and all those who are there in support of Project Die Hard. So that's worthwhile. That is so worthwhile. That's an easy one. So reach out for that. And then on the 17th is the Project Die Hard, the Die Hard Drive, the facility event right at Fob Rush in Makanda, Illinois. So dates to remember. And with that, I'm going to actually pass over to you, Kurt, first to go ahead and share your words of hope for our veterans today.
So, first of all, I'm grateful to Project Die Hard for their trust and partnership and the kind of work that they do. And I'm seeing in front of me that Brian is paying more attention to their welfare and the benefit of the veterans. So we are honored to serve the veterans alongside the mission. Um, I can say that when the veteran's brain is calm and with clarity, everything comes behind it. So with the resynaptic protocols, we will be able to do that, and we are ready to support any veteran out there. They can contact, and we are available for the support. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I am so glad you joined us here, that you joined the mission, that you're joining us here tonight. Really do appreciate you, Ranga. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much.
So, Kurt, I'll pass it over to you next.
I am here to breathe life into you. I'm here to assure you that my being on this podcast is a sign of, what's growing, and that the world is coming closer to you and your brothers and sisters. And, community has so much opportunity in how we come together. Yesterday, I was on a monthly call with timebanks.org, and through what Sue and I have been learning about for the last 10 years, called time banking. And I took it to a deacon at our church a handful of years ago, and he said, when I learn about time banking, it sounds a lot like church. And the reason he said that is the structure of time banking, the way it's facilitated, is for each member to come in and say, as a member, this is what I'm offering. I'm offering this, creating a list of offers. And then as a member, to make your list of requests. I am requesting this, and this. And then the bank, the time bank, becomes the matchmaker between all the offers and all the requests and all the needs. And they have a structure called an offers and needs market, marketplace. And that's an actual facilitation to have a conversation in a group and at the table, so to speak, in a video call, to be able to say, or in person at a potluck, to be able to put that all together to make sure that there's participation. Because again, I said the largest healthcare crisis known to humankind is social isolation. So anytime we are doing something to engage, the greater good is served. Individuals are served, and there's a pay it forward effect in engaging in any fashion to which you find suitable, beneficial, and preferential for you. And the point is to engage. So we are here. We have Ranga here. We have Resynaptic. We have it on the website. We put all the efforts to make more and more offers that we have here at Project iHeart. And your participation is so crucial. Just like hearing about this mother, engaging with Brian, to lean on Brian and our organization, Project iHeart, to help grieve the loss of this veteran and to give as much, credence and remembrance and memorialize the veteran and, to really work through this tough, dark time. So again, I'm here to breathe life into you. And, I'm here to say, we're coming together as a team to bolster strength and to have that reminder and to put into practice rebuking the interruptive works of Hasatan, that evil, devilish thing, that nagging thing. Like when Brian was on here, he said, when I kind of get that little nag, that little tug, about to do something, has been said before that, you know, long-term decision with a, you know, that you make that in the short term. So you're doing something really short term and it's got the long-term permanent consequence. To watch out for all that stuff. And we're all here to work together to make that work for you. And again, the element of hope is that we're here. My phone number is 262-372-1754. Call and text me, email Kurt, Kurt, at projectdiehard.org. And we're all working together to make it better and better. I'm growing my capacities in this and learning more about all these issues. And I also celebrate how, our format here, our growth plan is through rural areas, the quiet places. When I learned what's going on here, it's about getting away from the urban environments, all that noise, and go to where it's quiet and tune into you. And it's you I'm tuned into. Back to you, Sue.
Excellent. Well, this again is Project Die Hard Mission Monday update. My final word is just remember, God's not done with you yet. There's a mission for you. There is a plan. There is a reason you are here. And just like we're all here for a reason, we're doing the best we can with what we know, what we're able to. We have great resources like Ranga here that can make a difference. What do you need? Reach out. Let's work together and figure out what that is, and let's move forward into this coming year with a new sense of purpose. It's up to you. It's a decision. Make that decision to be here with us. Show up if you're anywhere near Paducah, Kentucky, that you can show up for that breakfast on the first Wednesday of next month. Please be there. I want to see us breaking records and running out of seats in that place because we have so many wonderful people coming together to enjoy some fellowship. Oh, you can reach me, Susan at projectdiehard.org. Let me know what you need. And I totally look forward to what this next year brings. There's going to be so many more good things coming your way. Just you wait and see. Stick around. We got good things. As always, for all of us here at Project Die Hard,